We're going to be working around fuel here, so we want to take some basic safety precautions. Work in a well-ventilated area away from any source of ignition, like a shop lamp or a hot water heater. And if you smoke, please stop, at least for the duration that it takes you to do this job. As always, when working on your vehicle, you should be wearing eye protection, but now's a good time to buy some chemical-resistant gloves as well. Most importantly, you need to have a properly rated and fully charged fire extinguisher handy and know how to use it. Locate the fuel pressure regulator. It will be different on some models, the turbo, the 8-valve, the 16-valve, but it is always on the fuel rail and most times on the rear of the fuel rail, red arrow. Make sure it is not the pressure damper, which will be at the front of the fuel rail on the supply line, yellow arrow. To help decrease the pressure in the fuel rail, you'll want to remove the fuel pump relay and turn the engine over a couple of times until it runs out of fuel. Begin by locating the relay panel. In earlier cars, it will be up under the dash. In later cars, it will be in the rear left side of the engine bay by the base of the windshield. Remove the cover, red arrow. Check with your manual, locate the fuel pump relay and remove it, red arrow. Crank the ignition over a few times until the car runs out of fuel. Fuel will still escape while performing this job, but this will help relieve some of the pressure. The pressure regulator bolts to the rear of the fuel rail, red arrow, hidden by a bracket. There is also a vacuum line, yellow arrow, and the fuel return line attached to it, green arrow. Pull the vacuum line from the regulator, red arrow. These can get old and brittle, so replace as needed. Use a flathead screwdriver and remove the clamp from the return fuel line and slip the line off the regulator, red arrow. Remove the two 10mm bolts holding the regulator to the fuel rail, red arrows. Wiggle and pull the regulator from the rail. There will be fuel in both the regulator and the rail, so be prepared to catch and dispose of it. There is a rubber O-ring on the base of the regulator that fits into the fuel rail. Put a little fuel on the ring when installing it to help lubricate it, red arrow. Installation is the reverse of removal, and expect the car to run rough for a couple of seconds when you first start it up as air is purged from the system. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out another video in this series.